I ever thought about, like, renaming a whole Gulf.
Ah,
It's happened. Well, maybe not literally, but it's definitely sparking some serious conversation,
yeah.
thanks to former President Trump.
Interesting.
He's stirring things up again with the suggestion to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Okay.
So today, we're going deep on this. We're looking at an article that really captures the whole thing. It's called Pasted Text.
Yeah.
And it dives into all these reactions to Trump's idea,
Gotcha.
which, gotta say,
Yeah.
is pretty provocative.
It is, and it really shows you how loaded something as simple as a name can be. I mean, we're talking about geography, sure.
Right.
But it goes so much deeper, like national identity, power dynamics,
That's
even
right.
touches on historical revisionism.
Yeah, it's a lot more than just a name change. And we've got everyone chiming in on this. You've got Trump himself, obviously.
Of course.
Then Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum firing back with some pretty sharp comebacks.
So-
Representatives Marjorie Taylor Greene and Brendan Gill adding their own takes on the whole thing.
Right.
And even commentators like Ian Bremmer, Arturo Dominguez, and Chris Horkins trying to make sense of it all. So let's break this down. First things first. What's the deal with Trump's reasoning behind this whole name change thing?
Well, if you look at what he's saying, he's bringing up immigration as a big concern. The article points out that he's saying Mexico has to start allowing millions of people to pour into our country.
Right.
So it seems like he sees this name change as a way to kind of assert American control over the region, almost like planting a flag, you know?
Wow. And he's definitely not shy about using strong language,
No, not at all.
is he? The article even quotes him saying, "We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America." What a beautiful name. And it's appropriate.
It's a very assertive statement for sure.
But President Sheinbaum isn't just letting him walk all over this
Oh, definitely not.
issue.
She is not. Her response is really interesting. She's using humor and history to kind of dismantle his argument.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant, like suggesting the U.S. be renamed Mexican America and bringing up that historical map showing America Mexicana. It really exposes the absurdity of Trump's logic, I think.
It's definitely gotten a lot of attention.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think this kind of humor is a good way to push back against Trump's rhetoric?
I think it's incredibly effective, honestly. Not only does it sort of undercut his authority,
Yeah.
but it also reminds everyone of the history of the region, that the U.S. hasn't always been in charge of everything it claims.
It's a good point. And it's not just international figures weighing in. We've got U.S. politicians getting involved, too, like Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Right.
who seems to be fully on board with this Gulf of America idea.
Yeah, she's been very vocal about her support, calling it a great start to a potential second term for Trump, and even talking about introducing legislation to officially change the name. She's really pushing for it.
Wow.
Using platforms like Truth Social to get the word out. It seems to fit right in with her political goals.
And then there's Representative Brendan Gill, who's putting this into a much bigger context, framing it alongside things like talks of reclaiming the Panama Canal or acquiring Greenland. He's calling it a new manifest destiny.
Yeah.
What do you make of that connection?
It's an interesting take for sure. Gill's comments, especially his CNN appearance where he talks about this being a golden age for America,
Right.
really highlight how this seemingly small name change has become a symbol for a much bigger debate about America's place in the world. It taps into that history of expansionism and the idea of American exceptionalism.
It's like this whole renaming thing is a mini version of a much bigger conversation about global power dynamics and international relations.
Exactly.
So how are experts and commentators reacting to all of this?
It's a mixed bag, as you might expect. You've got Ian Bremmer, who says, file under, two can play that game, implying that Sheinbaum's response is more than just a joke.
Okay.
It's a calculated political move. And then you have Arturo Dominguez, who's clearly entertained by all of this, saying, watching Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum dogwalk Trump has been and will continue to be so much fun. So it's definitely caught people's attention.
It's gone global.
It really has. Chris Horkins is even calling for Canadian leaders to take a page from Sheinbaum's book and show some backbone in dealing with Trump. It shows you how far-reaching the implications of this debate are.
So after taking a deep dive into all these different perspectives, what's the main thing you think our listeners should take away from all of this?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that a name is never just a name. It carries history, it carries weight, and often it carries political intentions. This whole situation shows how something as simple as changing the name of a place can reveal those cracks in international relations, start debates about national identity, and even become a tool for political maneuvering.
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, has this kind of thing happened before? Like, has renaming places been used as a political tactic throughout history? And if so, what could that mean for today's world?
That's a really good question, and I think it encourages us to look beyond the surface and really consider the deeper meaning behind these seemingly small actions on the global stage. It can be a powerful tool.
It really can.
For sure.